Hi everyone, Aiden here with Etrailer.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Hollywood Rack's Destination e-bike rack here on our 2022 Ram 1500 Classic. Now this is a really solid bike rack if you're looking for something that can carry e-bikes really well, will work with your tailgate, and is going to be super easy to operate. This is going to check all those boxes and is one of my personal favorites. It is a platform style bike rack here, so it's going to hold the bike in this tray, and our primary point of contact is this clamp up top. That is going to make frame contact, so do avoid your carbon frame bikes, but because of the way that clamp pivots and rotates 360 degrees, it is going to be good for alternative frame bikes. With a 70-pound weight capacity per bike, like the name suggests, it is great for e-bikes, even some of the heavier ones, because it does kind of upgrade that standard 60-pound limit we see in a lot of other cases. With this bike rack, though, my favorite thing is the tilting away, probably. We've got this gray hand knob right here that I'll just loosen up right there, and I can just push it out of the way, and from here, we can just push the whole bike rack away. It's really easy to do. You can see I'm doing it one-handed. The way it kind of centers the weight makes it really easy to do, even when it's fully loaded. And from here, it is very close. And if you kind of look down here, you'll notice that part of the tailgate is actually touching right about here, but the place it's touching is by some plastic padding, so it's no metal on metal contact. That might be a concern for some people. For me, if this were my truck, I don't think I'd really mind, because now I get full access to my truck bed, whether I need to grab out something heavier like a full cooler, or I just want to take out the included ramp. I can do that just as easily. I don't have to reach over the sides of the bed. I'll go ahead and push this back into place here, and we can re-secure it with that hand knob. That is one tough thing about the ramp, is that it doesn't store on the bike rack, so we have to have it on hand somewhere else. But this is going to be really handy for loading and unloading. We've got this hand knob on the bottom here that we can loosen and extend, and then it'll just slot in towards the back of the bike rack like that to wheel it up or down. Now, for our situation today, we're right by a wall, so we don't really have room to wheel it down on this side. So just be mindful of that when you are parking, but it is going to make it really easy because of how wide the ramp is. To get the bike unloaded, though, I'm going to start with these wheel straps on the bottom. We've got 3 in total. Just want to push in on this gray button on the side, pull out that strap, and then we can loosen the clamp up top with this hand knob. That hand knob does lock, so if we want to lock it up, it'll just free spin, and our bike will be secure. Loosening it up, though, we can just pivot it out of the way, and at this point, we'd either roll the bike back down the ramp, or just lift it off and away. I'll go ahead and set this to the side for right now. I'll actually kind of squeeze by the camera here and set it off to the side, and we can get a closer look at the bike rack itself. Putting the ramp kind of back in its stored position here, I'm just going to retighten that hand knob once it's condensed. Really easy to do. And then luckily, since we have the truck, we can just put it in the bed or in the cab, wherever we choose. I'm just going to put it in the bed there, and we can get some measurements here. I'm actually going to replace these straps first. We're going to start off with our ground clearance, though. This bike rack, you can see, does kind of have a sort of U-shaped design. So at the lowest point at the back end here, we're going to be getting 24.5 inches of ground clearance. That is plenty for pretty much any application. I don't think you'll have any sort of issues with ground clearance on your truck here. As far as distance added to the back goes, it is going to be sticking out 32 inches. That's not too bad, but we can save on some of that space if the bikes are unloaded. We just have to come to the mast here and loosen up these rubber bands, or the straps rather, open up those handles, fold the mast down, re-engage the handles, and then re-secure the straps. Those straps are just there to make sure the handles don't accidentally pop open. So it's a lot of things you have to kind of work with here, but it's not too bad. There's a pin and retaining clip down here towards the hitch that I'll just pop off, fold the brack upright, and re-secure that pin through the newly aligned holes. That can be a little tricky, just kind of wiggle it back and forth till you find that alignment. And from here, we can check out that new measurement, which is going to be 14.5 inches from the back of the truck. So it does condense that distance down quite a bit. It is a fairly bulky bike rack. You can kind of see here, it will block some of your backup camera. Luckily, this whole portion here is fairly open, so we will get some visibility. Down by the hitch, it's going to fit in our 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube and come with an integrated anti-rattle device, keeping everything secure in the hitch, really solid. And it has a locking hitch pin. That lock is key-like to those clamps up top, so it is going to keep everything nice and safe for us. And overall, this is one of my favorite e-bike racks. It's really easy to use, it works well with our Ram here, and it's going to just get the job done and last a long time. Thanks for watching.